It's not until just a few years ago that we were able to cheaply measure the human genome at scale, in thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of people. Before that, our primary method for estimating how important are genetic differences for psychology was not measuring their DNA directly, but relying on a kind of natural experiment, which is that sometimes an embryo that begins life as one person with one genome divides and you end up with identical twins.
Good morning, guys. So it's the age-long debate. Which has a greater influence, nature, the genes we're born with, or nurture, the environment we live in? Well, it turns out that studying twins is the very best way to find out. When you listen to Sharon Posset and Debbie Mellman finish each other's sentences, it's hard to believe that they spent the first 45 years of their lives apart. The sisters met for the first time 18 years ago. Debbie had just learned she was adopted, and with some help from an investigator, she found out about Sharon and decided to call her identical twin. Psychologist and twin expert Dr. Nancy Siegel studied Sharon and Debbie and included them in her book, Born Together, Reared Apart.
They have very similar personalities. They both used to make the same funny faces as children. They used to roll their eyes to the top of the head. And so, is this coincidence or not? I think not.
All right, so they were two twins from a very famous study called the Minnesota Study of Twins Reared Apart, which was a study of a relatively few number of identical twins who were separated at birth and adopted into different homes. These days, it's very uncommon for adoption agencies to separate identical twins and put them in different homes, and definitely uncommon for them to be raised not even knowing there's a twin out there. So it's much more common these days to measure identical twins who have been reared in the same home and compare them to fraternal twins or dizygotic siblings, who are the sorts of twins who don't look just alike. So they're the genetic relationship of ordinary brothers and sisters. They just happen to be in the same pregnancy and be born at the same time. But in the same case, you're looking at is someone's genetic relationship, is the fact that they're genetically similar to this person, related to how phenotypically similar they are. That is, how similar they are on the trait of interest, whether that be height, whether that be same-sex sexual behavior, whether that be personality, risk for mental illness. And what those studies have found is that essentially every aspect of human psychology and behavior is to some extent influenced by genetic differences between people.